Procrastination, Why You Do It, What to Do About It by Jane B. Borka and Lenora M. Doohan is a comprehensive exploration of the psychology of procrastination. The authors, both psychologists, take a deep dive into the emotional, cognitive, and behavioral reasons behind procrastination and provide a rich set of practical strategies to help individuals break free from the cycle of delay. With a focus on self-awareness, personal insight, and behavioral change, the book offers valuable tools for understanding procrastination not as a trivial or lazy habit, but as a complex response to deeper emotional and psychological triggers. Introduction: Procrastination as a complex behavioral pattern. Borka and Doohan start by asserting that procrastination is not simply a matter of laziness or lack of willpower, but rather a complex behavior driven by various internal and external factors. The authors describe procrastination as an avoidance mechanism, one that people use unconsciously to deal with a range of emotions, such as fear of failure, perfectionism, anxiety, guilt, and low self-esteem. They highlight how procrastination is deeply intertwined with a person's emotional life and is often a result of underlying psychological patterns. The book is rooted in the belief that procrastinators are not inherently flawed, but are reacting to difficult feelings that can be addressed and resolved. This understanding forms the foundation for the rest of the book's exploration of procrastination and its solutions. Chapter 1: The Hidden Cost of Procrastination. In the first chapter, the authors explain how procrastination costs individuals not only in terms of lost time and productivity but also in their emotional well-being. Delaying tasks often leads to feelings of guilt, anxiety, and stress, which only deepen the procrastinator's avoidance and create a vicious cycle. This emotional toll exacerbates procrastination and can make the tasks feel more overwhelming. Borka and Doohan argue that procrastination can also erode self-esteem. As individuals delay important tasks, they internalize their failure to act, leading to shame and feelings of inadequacy. This chapter sets the stage for understanding procrastination not merely as a productivity issue, but as a psychological dilemma that can have far-reaching effects on mental health and emotional stability. Chapter 2: The Roots of Procrastination. The second chapter delves into the psychological causes of procrastination, exploring how it stems from a variety of emotional and cognitive processes. The authors identify key underlying factors that drive procrastination, such as 1. Fear of failure. Many procrastinators are paralyzed by a fear that their work will not be good enough, which leads them to delay tasks in an effort to avoid confronting their potential failure. This fear can be linked to past experiences of criticism or perfectionism. 2. Perfectionism. A common theme among procrastinators is the desire to produce perfect work. Borka and Doohan explain that perfectionists are often overwhelmed by the belief that anything less than perfection is unacceptable, leading them to delay starting or completing tasks. 3. Low self-esteem. Procrastination can also be linked to low self-worth. People who believe they are not capable or deserving of success may sabotage themselves by procrastinating, as a form of self-punishment. 4. Overwhelm and avoidance. Tasks may seem so large or unmanageable that individuals procrastinate to avoid the emotional discomfort of confronting them. This can lead to feelings of being overwhelmed, which make it even harder to start working. 5. Lack of motivation. Sometimes procrastination is fueled by a lack of intrinsic motivation, especially when tasks feel uninteresting, irrelevant, or disconnected from a person's core values or goals. Chapter 3: The Procrastination Cycle. The third chapter focuses on how procrastination becomes a habit and develops into a cyclical pattern. Borka and Doohan describe how procrastinators delay tasks, feel guilty about it, then experience anxiety or stress as deadlines approach, which only reinforces the avoidance behavior. This cycle can create a vicious loop where the initial delay feeds into increasing stress, which in turn reinforces the procrastination, leading to more delay and greater guilt. The authors stress that the key to breaking this cycle is recognizing that procrastination is self-sabotage. It is a defense mechanism that people use to protect themselves from feelings of failure or inadequacy. This insight is important for individuals trying to understand why they procrastinate and how they can begin to address the underlying emotions driving their behavior. Chapter 4, The Psychology of Self-Sabotage. Burka and Ewan explore procrastination as a form of self-sabotage, where individuals avoid tasks not because they are lazy, but because they are afraid of confronting unresolved emotional issues. This chapter digs deep into the psychological barriers that prevent people from moving forward. 1. Self-criticism and guilt. Procrastinators often experience harsh self-criticism, which causes them to feel paralyzed. The more they criticize themselves for procrastinating, the more difficult it becomes to start working. 2. The need for control. Some individuals procrastinate because they want to be in control of their environment and the outcome of their work. They delay tasks as a way to assert control over when and how they will work, but this often leads to greater anxiety and further avoidance. 3. The fear of success. In some cases, procrastination is linked to the fear of success. Achieving success can trigger feelings of responsibility, expectations, and pressure, which some individuals fear more than failure. Chapter 5, Overcoming Procrastination, a Step-by-Step Approach. This chapter provides practical, actionable advice on how to overcome procrastination by breaking it down into manageable steps. The authors present a step-by-step program that includes both psychological techniques and behavioral strategies. 1. Identifying the causes. The first step in overcoming procrastination is to identify the underlying emotional causes. This involves reflecting on the feelings and thoughts that arise when faced with a task. By becoming more aware of emotional triggers such as fear or perfectionism, individuals can begin to address the root causes of their procrastination. 2. Breaking tasks into smaller pieces. One of the most effective strategies to combat procrastination is breaking large tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces. This reduces feelings of being overwhelmed and makes it easier to take the first step toward completion. 3. Creating a realistic schedule. Setting realistic, flexible deadlines that take into account time for relaxation and self-care is essential. Burka and Ewan emphasize the importance of creating a schedule that includes breaks and avoids all-or-nothing thinking. For building self-compassion, the authors highlight the importance of self-compassion in overcoming procrastination. Instead of berating oneself for procrastinating, individuals are encouraged to treat themselves with kindness and understanding. By being gentle with themselves, they can reduce the anxiety and guilt that often fuel procrastination. 5. Visualizing success. Visualization is a powerful tool for procrastinators. By imagining successful completion of a task, individuals can reduce anxiety and increase motivation. Visualization helps shift focus away from fear and self-doubt toward positive expectations. 6. Establishing rewards. The authors recommend establishing a system of rewards for accomplishing even small steps toward a goal. This provides positive reinforcement, making the task feel more rewarding and helping to build momentum. 7. Accountability and support. Having an accountability partner or support system can help procrastinators stay on track. Burka and Ewan suggest finding someone who can provide encouragement, check in on progress, and offer support when needed. Chapter 6, The Power of Time Management. In the final chapter, the authors explore effective time management techniques that help reduce procrastination. They recommend adopting strategies such as time blocking, where specific times of day are dedicated to specific tasks, and the Pomodoro technique, where work is done in focused intervals with short breaks. These time management strategies aim to create structure without overwhelming the individual. Burka and Ewan also advise individuals to avoid the trap of all-or-nothing thinking, a tendency to believe that if they can't complete a task perfectly, they shouldn't start at all. Instead, they emphasize the value of progress, even if it's imperfect. Conclusion: breaking free from the procrastination trap. In conclusion, Burka and Ewan reiterate that procrastination is a psychologically complex behavior that requires both understanding and action to overcome. By addressing the emotional and psychological causes of procrastination, such as fear of failure, perfectionism, and self-doubt, and adopting strategies like time management, self-compassion, and task breakdown, individuals can begin to break free from the cycle of procrastination and become more productive and emotionally balanced.